Okay, this is page 4 of chapter 8, the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So this says if the sum of the squares of the lengths of the two sides of a triangle is equal to the square of the length of the third side, then the triangle is a right triangle. So we're still going to use Pythagorean theorem, but we're going to use it to determine if the triangle is a right triangle or not. So if we look at example 2, I'm going to label the longest side C and then the other two sides A and B. So we're still going to plug those into the Pythagorean theorem, but we're just checking if they're equal or not. So we're going to take 10 squared plus 10 squared, and then also take the 10 root 2 squared, and check if those are equal. So go ahead and square those out. So 10 squared is 100, 10 squared is 100, and 10 root 2 squared is 100 times 2. So we get 200 equals 200. So since these are equal, this is a right triangle. Okay, looking at example B, the longest side, 85, is going to be C, and then A and B are the two smaller sides. So we're going to take 84 squared plus 13 squared and see if that is equal to 85 squared. So we get 7,056 plus 169 equals 725. So if we add those up, we get 7,225 equals 7,225. So this is another example of a right triangle. Okay, so next is what happens if it is not equal. So if it is not equal, we have two different things happen. If the legs are greater than the hypotenuse, then the triangle is acute. If the legs are less than the hypotenuse, then the triangle is obtuse. So let's see what an acute one looks like. We've got A, B, and C, and then we're going to plug those in. 9 squared plus 10 squared is greater than 11 squared. So we're going to multiply those out. 81 plus 100 is greater than 121. So then if we add these two numbers up, we get 181 is greater than 121. So this is what happens here. So this is an example of an acute triangle. Okay, so let's see what happens when it looks obtuse. So we have A, B, and C. So we have 5 squared plus 8 squared is less than 12 squared. So we get 25 plus 64 equals 144. So 89 is, sorry, this should be less than, is less than 144. So since that's what happened, we have the less than symbol. This is an example of an obtuse triangle. Okay, so looking at the two examples down here, same thing. So we're going to label the two short sides A and B, and the longest side is C. So we have 12 squared plus 16 squared, and I'm just going to use equals for now, and then change it depending on what happens. So 12 squared is 144, and then 16 squared is 256, 20 squared is 400. So if we add these two up, 400 equals 400. So this would be an example of a right triangle. Okay, and last example, we have A, B, the two shorter sides. C is the longest side. So 7 squared plus 23 squared equals 24 squared. So we get 49 plus 529 equals 576. And add these up. 529 plus 49 is 578, which is going to be greater than 576. So if the legs are larger than the hypotenuse, then we get an acute triangle.